Hi, this is Anushree and you're watching me on BeBeautiful. If you're tired of your makeup not lasting the whole day and for it just melting and disappearing in this heat, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to achieve that fresh, flawless, long-lasting makeup look. I'm going to take you through each step. I'm also going to share a few tips and tricks and a few hacks that I've sort of picked up through the years. So grab your snack, grab your makeup brushes, and let's get into the video. So first things first, I like to make sure that my skin is actually prepped for makeup, and I like to actually start off with a clean canvas. So I go in with my simple, refreshing face wash first. This one is actually a great face wash. It's very gentle, but it removes all the dirt, the grime, and all the impurities really well. Now, once I'm done with that, I like to use a moisturizer and primer, and this one is actually a combination of both. This is the Lakme 9 to 5 double duty moisturizer plus primer. Using a primer is so important because it just gives you that perfect canvas for your makeup. Also, it makes your makeup look a lot better. It makes it last a lot longer, and this one is actually great because it's super lightweight and it's literally like a filter for your skin. So the next step is actually optional, but I personally love it, and it's this little trick of mine that helps to make you just feel awake instantly, and it also helps to debuff. I take a gua sha and I put it in the freezer for like 5 minutes. This helps in debuffing and it also feels really good, so I definitely recommend not skipping this step. I like to wait for a few minutes after I've actually prepped my skin, and then I like to go in with my concealer. So I'm only applying this in areas that need it, and I apply very little bit. I like to let it sit for a couple of minutes because you require very little bit of it and it gives you better coverage. The next step is foundation. I take very little bit of this, and I like to first heat this up in the back of my hand. And I like to concentrate mostly around the center of my face because that's where the light naturally hits you. And you want to make sure you're not applying too much. So I'll apply very little bit of it, blend it out. Okay, I'm going to start with my eyes now, and this one is actually a great trick for beginners. I'm just going to take a kajal. I'm using this one by Lakme. This is the iconic kajal, and as the name suggests, it is iconic. I'm just going to apply a little bit on the lash line. I'm going to take a brush and I'm actually going to blend this right away. And what this does is it just gives you that soft, smoky look. It's very hard to make any mistakes with this, which is why it's beginner friendly. I love this kajal. It's so easy to blend and it's so pigmented. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take an eyeshadow palette and I'm going to set this to make it last even longer. I'm using the Lakme Absolute Explore eyeshadow palette. This one is in Purple Haze, this color, and I'm just going to go over this to really set it in and to add a little bit of color to my eyes as well. Another trick to make sure that your eyes look really complete is to take your kajal and actually tight line the upper lash line. It's a very small step, but it makes a huge difference. Okay, this is really hard to do on camera. I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead with mascara. I'm using this one. This is the L18 Eye Drama Mascara. Always take off the excess before you apply it. And I'm actually going to show you this really cool technique I saw on TikTok a few years ago on how to apply mascara. You first take your mascara wand and you just take it vertically over like this. And then just go over it in a wiggle motion. This small step just instantly opens up my eyes. I'm going to apply a little bit of the lip balm. This is the Lakme Lip Love Mask. So by the time I actually get to my lips are prepped. Okay, now I'm going to set everything with a setting powder. I'm using this setting powder by Lakme. This is in the shade Neutral Nude. And I'm only going to apply this in areas where I've applied concealer and where I tend to get a bit more oily, which is usually my T-zone. I love this step because it's instantly like a Paris filter for your skin in your life. And once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to our face. I'm taking the Lakme Lip and Cheek Tint. What I like to do is, I just like taking a little bit on the back of my hand first, and then just applying this gently with my finger. Adds a beautiful natural flush to your skin, and actually applying this on the back of your hand and then applying it with your fingers is great because this way you have more control on how much you're applying. I'm going to do the same thing for my lip as well and apply this on my lip. I like dabbing this in with my fingers so it doesn't have like a very fine line, so it has a very blurred edge. And finally, to lock everything in, a setting spray. And that's the final look. If you want your makeup to last all day, just make sure that you're prepping your skin right. You're using minimal but strategic makeup placement, and of course, just make sure you're setting it as well. I hope my few tips and tricks help you, and if you have any tips and tricks for me, then please let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.